Welcome to our video series on Data Services Manager version 2.2. In this next part of the video series, we're going to look at disaster recovery using database replication. And this is specifically for Postgres databases in version 2.2. So we'll begin with a primary database that has already been created in Data Services Manager. You can see it's running version 16.6. It's got 3 nodes, so it is deployed onto a single vSphere cluster. A lot more details here, but you'll notice in Data Services Manager 2.2, there is now a data availability and remote replication section. And if we turn on remote replication, you're requested to provide 2 pieces of detail, a slot number and a replication user. You can also give an optional description. So with those 2 pieces of information added, the database goes through a reconfiguration. And you'll notice a few events. And what you'll also see is that there's now a replication slot associated with the primary database. So we need to copy the replication user connection string as we go ahead and create the secondary database. So this is the destination that we will replicate to. We need to keep the same database version, and at this point in the remote replication data protection area, we add in the connection string and the slot name that we set up for the replication. Once those 2 pieces of information are provided, it's much the same as before, where you're selecting an infrastructure policy for the secondary database, a storage policy, VM class, disk size, and so on. And that's pretty much it. So we have the secondary now in place with the user connection string and the slot name. We can go ahead and create that secondary database. And you may have to accept a certificate of authority here, as you can see. And at this point, we should see that the Postgres database, the secondary, is in progress. And we won't hang around, we will just speed things up. And now what we're doing is we're looking at the completed replication where it has the secondary host name, our IP address. You can see details about the secondary here when it comes to remote replication as well. The VM name, once again, you can get a diagrammatic representation of how it looks. And one of the things you can now do with the secondary database is you can promote it to a primary. So you need to set up backups. They won't have been set up on the secondary, but if you're promoting it to a primary, you will need to do that. And then you'll need to add some customized backup schedules. So we typically would have a full backup that's weekly. You can set the weekly there. And then we would typically have, once we've selected the date or the day of the backup, you would also have an incremental that's done daily. So with all of that in place, we can select the topology of the destination. So it could remain as a single server, but we could also decide that we want availability for the secondary as it's promoted to a primary. We could build that into a vSphere cluster deployment if we so wish. And then it's just a matter of promoting it. So that's pretty much it. That is replication and the ability to do DR. If you're interested in doing or learning more about Data Services Manager, just hop along to cormachogan.com where there is a DSM page about all things Data Services Manager. And I want to thank you for watching this second video in the series of DSM version 2.2.